Good morning and welcome to the Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Day in and day out, we hear about the pernicious impact of plastics, the convenient, the cheap mode that was almost a heaven sent at one time is derided. I fully recollect. It was 1964 and I purchased my first Decron T-shirt. Very expensive at that time, but that was the in thing. And today, that would be something of a disaster. Apparently, in the noise created by the scientists and the politicians for reasons best known to them, plastics are a cause of ruining the world. But is the campaign against the use of plastic sustainable? Are the scientists and the politicians not leading us up the shit creek? Apparently, it appears that what the scientists are saying, is motivated not by ignorance, but by reasons other than that. I fully agree that plastics are not a perfect replacement for natural goods, but they are maybe better. This is one provision, of course, that they are handled properly. Plastics protect our food, reduce food wastage, help produce a lot more food, a lot more efficiently, a lot more cheaply than was possible a few decades back. According to the environmentalists, coal, petroleum, natural gas together with the fuels, lubricants, and myriad other products these fossil fuels that make possible are driving the climate change, the global warming, and all the widespread environmental problems. The ever-increasing production and use of the fossil fuels, according to them, will kill billions of us and irreversibly damage the life on the planet. And this campaign, which started about 2 decades back, has not changed the tempo. According to them, the world should have been destroyed by this time, but it is still there. Taking this cue from the people who are wide awake, the government want to designate all plastic manufactured items, not just the plastic straws, as toxic. Surely, such a bold move is justified in light of terrible things, provided they are really harmful for the humans and this planet. But I wonder, many people have pointed out that plastic materials have many benefits. A, they are versatile. B, they are cheap. C, they are lightweight. D, they are resistant. As I said, they produce, protect food, reduce wastage, produce a lot more food. And crucially, plastic pollution is not a problem in advanced countries imagine it. The so-called plastic problem is not a major issue as far as countries like Canada, USA, Europe are concerned. It's more in Africa. And that is because these advanced countries are good at recycling plastics, transforming them either into energy or other products. So it's the use of the plastics that is the real issue. As a matter of fact, plastics and the fossil fuels benefit humanity and our environment. Don't be amazed. They really are useful for our environment. We are born and live surrounded by plastic, and countless machines created with and powered by the fossil fuels. So plastics we know are a byproduct of petroleum industry. And we are surrounded by that. There are 8 billion people living on this planet. And now compare their lifespan and their standard of living with the people, say about 5 decades back. The life expectancy has increased, the wealth has increased, the per capita income has increased, the standard of living has increased. And yet we blame the plastics. And at the same time, when they have increased, the use of plastics has increased. Compare their life, both health and material, when there were 1 billion people who were around in this world, not 8 billion as it is today, but 1 billion. And coal was used in a large number. That's 2 centuries back. Moreover, the richer we are, the greener parts of the planet have become. Planet today is much more green. The reality is, yes, I agree that the forested area has decreased, but the number of trees has increased. More people, more industry, more food, more consumption, and a greener planet. You might think it's a paradox. No, it's not. We have got better and better at substituting resources produced on the surface of the planet and resources dug or pumped from the underground. Is the utilization that has changed. Before 1850, approximately 3/4 of all products and used by the human beings came from the living plants or animals, and these living plants and animals were competing for the resources on the earth's surface. Today we are not dependent on the plants. We are not dependent on the other animals. I remember reading Cutcliffe Fletcher Mather, the Harvard geologist, and he wrote, today only about 30% of the things used in the industrialized countries come from things that grow naturally. 70% of them have sources in mines and quarries. And now that is the oil. I agree that refined petroleum products like fuel and lubricants, synthetic products like plastics, fibers, silicon, potash and phosphates have gradually reduced the demand. Not where? Imagine it. We today do not use or hunt whales for whale oil, baleen and perfume base. We do not kill birds for feathers to stuff our quilts and pillows. We do not kill elephants, polar bears, alligators, and other wild animals for ivory, fur, and skin. We do not cut down trees under the plants for lumber, firewood, charcoal, rubber, pulp, dyes, and green manures. All of them are synthetic. We do not use agriculture products for fats and fibers, so we don't kill the livestock and crops, leathers, dyes, pesticides. They are no longer from plants, they are all factory made. Work animals such as horses, mules, and oxen, and the large quantity of food they consume, and the human labor in various forms. So this large-scale substitution allowed our ancestors, in the words of demographer Wrigley, break free from photosynthesis. We became independent from the earth with the result that the earth became greener, more productive, more environmentally friendly. And this fact of life has been very quietly and insidiously hidden by the scientists. Why don't they come out with the facts? These advances have made photosynthesis, as I said, impossible, and they have made marginal agricultural land cultivated through environmentally damaging methods. What were the methods earlier? Slash and burn. And now there is spontaneous reforestation. There is rewilding and tree plantation. And non-cultivated marginal wetlands, grasslands, forest lands are there. They have not been misused. In North America, in Europe, and other parts of the world. Today we have more forested area than we had in 1950s. The area under forest in these places, I repeat, in North America, in Europe, and practically all over the world has increased 37.6%. Are you aware of this fact? And if not, why not? Only because the politicians don't want you to know. As I said earlier, plastics are not perfect. But if handled properly, they are better and greener than the substitute products made of plants and animals. The wooden doors replaced by fly ash doors, the doors made by straw, rice husk, and others are in fact enabling the greener land. Turning our backs on the plastic is in fact going to be harmful. It will make us and the planet worse off. And then, look at the benefits. The micro hydrogel membrane made from plastic can harvest water all day long. Agreed. It's capable of getting the air both day and night and combines two harvesting technologies. The problem is not with the plastic. The problem is not with using the technological advancements in recycling the plastic. We take the trees for the forest, not the forest for the trees, and lose sight of the totality. Can you believe that if you use hydrogel, your drinking water problem can be solved, and the fact that the desalination plants which are being set up can be avoided? Fog collection, now you must not have heard of it, is today the exact thing which is possible. The fog along the low-lying clouds, along the sea coast, are heavy with the water droplets. So this hydrogel collects that fog. Air is clearer. You can see better and in a much distance, and you get water, clean water. Why are not we using it? And that's a plastic, aren't you? The medical nanoparticles injected in the body for diagnostics are plastic ones. The artificial organs like legs and others are 80% plastic. And yet we call them something horrible, something detestable. The spines built with the hydrogen, the network of hydrophilic water-loving polymers, is a boon to the society, and we ignore it. As a matter of fact, with the hydrogels, sample the material ranging from 55 square centimeter are able to collect 35 liters of water from 4. And yet they're bad. The problem is not with the, as I said, with the plastics. The problem is with the use of the plastics and their technological recycling. They are, in fact, really a boon, provided we don't misuse them. But the misuse of anything is harmful. So are you still against plastics? Should this anti-plastic campaign continue? I leave it to you to think about it. Thank you.